Welcome everybody. This is the Mr. Tackpans Hour. Who am I and how am I? Well, I just finished eating some salmon, right? And I'm very nervous lately. I'm very nervous lately for more than one reason. A, I don't know if you noticed in any of my cassettes, I'm a little bit faster by choice and not by choice. For some reason, the minute I look at something, I put an analogy to it, and because I'm able to just square it all off, I'm always finding a reason. Now, before I get on to what I was going to talk about now, because it wasn't something very big, I'm a little all over the place now, I'm just trying to get things in order. Choose a game. You see, 9/11 can only happen once in life. But in Monopoly, it can actually happen 3 times. 2 of the times that you will get to 9/11 is by rolling the dice in Monopoly and getting 10 and ending up on the next corner. So you have 2. Then you get 10 again and you end up on the next corner. You have 3. And now here comes the next problem. Unless you get a 6 and a 4, your next double will put you in jail. And if you get a 6 and a 4, you go to jail. 9/11, 9/11, 9/11. There are 3. How many have happened in our lifetime? Some small, some bigs. We have to divide them up and put them in order. The other thing I came up with, I have to take off my glasses. There's a few more things on 9/11. Can't believe I lost a page. It all had to do with the circuitry. Right here. This design and this design. You see it says CNC. Well, really and truthfully, I only made a candle holder. Put a little moon here on the inside because the electronic of our total mind goes through our moon. I call her Annabelle because she jumped over the moon. She was black and white. She had the true story of all, and the purity descended back and back to us, back down into this planet. If God created us, what is it, a magician or something? What, he doesn't have any tools? He doesn't have a hammer and nails? What, because they didn't exist before? He made it for us just to laugh at us? Hey man, yeah, let's drive a car. The car is the ark. C-A-R-A-R-C. G-R-C. The gates of the resident of creation. Only one gate is created, but all pass through the same gate. One child is born, and sometimes 2. The time when a child can really pass the gate is when it's this letter over here. The reason why we can have twins is because of the letter X. The reasons people can have twins is because of this letter. It's the 24th letter in the alphabet, okay? Before it is 23, which is B and C. It becomes the 24th, which is B and D. And then B and F is after, 25th is after it. B and E. One before, one on, one after. So we'll take it in the first zone of the 20s. And we get 20, 20, 20 is 60. Where was it? Right, about the letter X. Okay, now we take 5, 4, and 3. 5 and 4 is because it covers 4 corners. The 5 is 4 corners with the dot in the center, pending whether or not you're talking about 1 piece or 2. Okay, so the total here would be 5, 9, 12. It would be 2 and 12. 2 and 12. But this, okay, is actually a cut in between the 2. Because of what world it is. It's in the 20 world of 12. 2012. The year we are in right now. 23 is because 22 is the same, and you can't create the same with the same life. 21 is accumulation of 2 dice, which we need the 5 for the passage and to cover the 4 first corners that God created of his own style pyramid. So we have 2 and 2 worlds of 6, which brings us back to 2012. If we add it together as an addition of 60 and 12, we have 72. We have the 8 of the heaven, which consistently of 6 men brings in the 9 birth. 9 times 8 is 72. Of the 72 of 86 of Mr. Tackman's. The number was not made by me. I'm not even quite sure if I even made any of my names, but it was hard to make my name. It was fact, it took the first name to make the second name. And I was a little shy about calling myself a mister. Missed what? I missed her and I missed everything in life. I just threw everything away. So I must have called myself a mister to bring it on back, to make myself feel proud of a higher element that I actually am not. Just me. I'm a sir, but I'm not a mister. Because the only sir of the Mr. I am is the mystery of you, of what you think of me. If my word does not get across, then across it won't go. But if the word does travel, all will soon know. The world was put together with no wasted time for the meddling and fiddling of God in His time. So He stroked one and He stroked twice. It was like rowing a boat. So He had an oar, O-A-R. O-R in French is gold. A-R is angel resident. The R is honor to come into this world with a representative of the Father Himself. A-R. Creation says a car. If you put it in reverse, it's an arc. And then you can park, so it rhymes all together. There we go. And I got a ticket sitting in the park. Sitting on a park bench, bum, bum, bum. The trees, they grow into the ground. We will come back to where we were, where I just left off, if I didn't lose you on 9/11. But another way of marking 9/11 is a Roman numeral 1 and X. And then I'd turn it over and show you an X and a 1. So you'd have Roman numeral. Or, instead of having 9/11, you have X, E, say it, say 2 X's. You have X, E, look, I'm going to show you again. The line can be an I or an L. Okay, so you run in luxury. But we don't. Okay, because the L is not connected to anything and we're not putting a straight L because then it will look like a 1 and an I. The I is a straight line 1 or an L with a circle in it because of the different connection. That's why there's a circle on the I and the L looks the same when it's small. But we were talking about another letter at all, the X. I'm going to show you another letter. Choose a letter. Okay, D. Okay, I'm going to show you a D that will never change its mind. This D is the only way it can be drawn. This, okay, cannot fit in here. It doesn't fit. It's this big. How do you want me to round it out? I live in space. What? Will the sands of time burn my corners? Maybe they'll burn the whole thing out. If I don't round them off now, it'll be chipped off in the future. We'll all fall through the hole. So that's the letter D. So we all say, well, isn't the letter D in this world? Don't we have the letter D? Well, have you ever thought of it being in the other world? Part of creating this world? Before we even saw what it was? Before we even used it or heard it ourselves? Before we misspelled it as another letter? Before in the middle of time we turned it over as a P? Where we looked at a small D and it was actually a B? Because it wasn't the Jack's hair? You're talking about Jack hair? You want to smoke some weed, man? Look at the Jack hair. Because I know the name Jack hair, you got to look. His numbers are 6 up. And backwards, he's EE. He's electronic with 3 up, looking like 6. 3 and 6. 3 times 6 is 18. The letter R, like driving a car. Backwards, it's an arc. You put it in park. But the letter N is a pass. N-O-I-N-I-X, because we just got off the I-X. I showed you the sizes of the letter, and I could do more. But then I wouldn't move on. But then I'd be explaining a little bit better. But I'd have to leave that for now. There's just too much to say. And I blocked my thoughts, and now I say nothing at all. So we had that letter that went in. We had the before and after. We went with 1X, X1. But did you know also we can go X111. 111 in the letter count is 102, which is Valentine's, which is the month of love, and it falls on the 14th, on the 45th day of the year. Every single year, regardless. In fact, the first 59 days of the year, which represent man and his birth into the passage, okay, that doesn't change. Not till the 29th of February, until all changes. Groundhog must have come out early. When is the groundhog coming out? Was it the end of February? Maybe that's why things are changing. So now we got to both 9 and 11. But wait a second. There's someone knocking at the door. Who is it? Oh, you can come in. It's a stick. Can I stay next to you, Mr. 10? Yes, you can. Oh, your sister's coming? Oh. Now I got your sister. Oh, wait a second. Your whole family's coming in. Wow, the whole 3 of you. Wow, pretty cool, eh? One to the middle, one to the left, one to the right. And if we stuck it up this way, it'd be a K. We can put it into a V. If we put it on this side, it looks like a D. We turn it upside down, it looks like an A. If I had double of this, I'd be able to create the D. But the C can still, the D can still be created. I remove it. I got the C. What do you see? I can also cross corner it and just create the H. How many letters can I create with 3 sticks? Point A, point B, now the center of the stick. If I hold it at one end, I cannot building off my fingers, unless I was building my fingers to the wood. So we started off with the shin. But wait a second. The shin. But what about my head? Because I don't have the same stick at the bottom, and I got 2 legs I don't count, I'm the 4th part of the shin. The shin, okay, in all actuality, is 2 sticks, the same ones going to the left. The same 2 sticks in the connection of Jupiter going to the right. And now Jupiter has to take 1 stick and send it to the left, stick D, and then it goes and takes stick F and goes over to the other side. One of the 6 is different. Why? North, south, east, west. That's it. In between are the trains. So you'll get on the trains and you'll get up on the slide and you'll slide back into a corner. You'll always be home unless you slide off the wrong end and you G-G-J. Go to jail. So where else are we in this? Where else have we come to? Connecting of the worlds. Am I making up a story? Am I making up a game? Am I barking like a dog or hunting pheasant fame? Is my name or just a Raphael, or is this just a game? Or do I have anything else to say? But will be the one to blame. 3 sticks beside me, I am 10. In Roman numerals, it says 13. But when I put them on this side, it can't happen. Do you know why? I'm going to tell you why. Before, the last thing you had before was this stick, which made you 9. Now it's what comes after, because you can't go back. Your mother let you out the hole. Now you're in the world in another hole, because you're confused and you're complaining about everything that's actually not really going good, but it is going good because you know who I am. All you got to know is to pull on the choke, how to start the motor, how to get the transmission, how to get the foot on the gas and look out the window and put on your seatbelt. But before you go, do you have any money in your pocket in case something bad happens? The spirit of life. So we put 3 on this side, but we could. Do you know why we put 3 on this side? Because if we get 2, 2, 2, we make a baby and we get to roll again. 3, 1 and 2, creation. 1 before, 3 after, you have 8, you have them in the heaven. 8. Because if everything was just a V, and the 1 was beside the V, it would be a 4. But if I switch it around, it's now a 6. Hey, and I'm in between. What does that mean? Am I 6? Then this side is 6, and this side is 6. If I'm 6, and this side is 6, and that side is 6, that's 18. But we don't count both. We don't count the in-between, because we're working with 2 sides in between 1 side. You got 1 guy at the other telephone, and you're there, but in between you are all the wires that have to take you there. The equipment change, the E-world, the N letter is a street. It holds two iron bars, one V going up, one V going down. Of course, it looks like it has a straight back. But the reason for the straight back of that V is because I'm gonna show you what happens in order to make the straight back. Do you see? Do you see the A there, the double A? Okay. If I put one up and one down, I'll end up with an upside down M and a W over here. Okay. But I split the V in half, making a standing A, and that's why your N is on that slant, showing two A's. We need to make two of everything. Well, there you go. Paper on the floor. Now I got two papers on the floor. One in my hand and a stick. Gonna take me far. So that's the N. So the N and the O actually go together. Okay? Certain things have to pass with certain letters. A, E is the place. Okay? I, straight line. All you got to do is turn it around. In fact, I and O, actually turning the I around, made what the O is today. Without the I, there is no O. Secondly, again, if I had no I down there and she had no O, she ended up no eggs if it was in a language of French. Or the O is the water. The waters that flow. The electricity that goes through the waters that flow. Thus we know, Hydro-Quebec, Hydro-Aval, anything that's dammed up or closed up where there's a movement of water and a current of water, there's an energy of some sort that comes from a distant place. It's displaced. One of the parts of that world is the ram's horn. One of these are the Mediterranean. One of these are the Baltic. This, my head, my friends, is the earth. The ends of the rainbow. They are going to war in Israel, and there's a big storm out in Asia. They connect to these two. I don't know if they're the upper connection or the lower connection, but it connects within the pyramids. What I also get in my revelations, that ore, iron ore, or this ore meaning of gold, or nuclear of the elements. Something is used for a higher communication, because I think at the end of the book of God, he needs those ugly bums to connect with the evil demons, just so the game plays out just the way it was in the Bible, just like we had Alice in Wonderland and she fought the dragon. So something like that. I know it's a little weird, but you know, there's been a lot of weird things in this world, and wouldn't it be great if it ends off with magic other than war, right? Hey man, look at that! The sky is turning a color. Never seen that color before. Ooh, look, angels in the sky. Oh, those are airplanes. No, it's a bird, it's a plane. Is it Superman? No, we're starting to see the truth. The skies are splitting apart. The two worlds are becoming visible. The powder that Tinkerbell has laid upon us over the years, so our vision was blocked, has been unblocked. And people are starting to see a little different other than clearer now. Because it's been a little too clear to see anything before. That's why I wear the yellow glasses, because I want to see the extra rays that are in the sky. I don't want them to go away because of the world we live in. White really doesn't exist. White comes about very simply and easily like this. I'll give you the end result of coal in a fire. As the cinders turn gray, that's white. What? Are you arguing with me? You want me to explain myself? Because we don't argue, but we don't move in slow motion. If I go to the right of gray in an extremity, I get black. And if I go to the other side of gray in the other extremity, I get white. I've got the in-between of both. Regardless of how we're going to get there again, I got it. And the purity of the Lord is the way in, my friends. How do we get in? I have absolutely no idea, except I can guess. Be good to your own heart and understand the truth of what the freedom is to the world and your own self. Within one star, whatever you can place in four corners, that's all you have. You have four choices in your life right now. Just four choices, because you are the center. You are the center of all. You make four choices. You put one in each corner. one of the corners will fall through, because in Monopoly, the fourth corner is go to jail. So you're back in life. So it just means you got to try again. If you start 30 from go, you're go to jail. That is your creation. If you have already began and go to jail at 20, that is your life. The year 2000 is all our lives. It's about 40, but half is our life. The one we're living on this earth is 20. They lived the first half in the Hebrew time. We all made a little mistake, or I'm sorry, you didn't all make a little Hebrew mistake. 37, 60. I got to sort of redo time here. 57, 75, 37, 60, 2015. Okay, so 2015 from 3750 is 5775 is, okay, just give me one more second. 2000 from this 90958. Okay, here, I show you. I can't tell you exactly what I was doing to start. Where is it? Here. 8095. 40 and 40 of the game. You must have one player to play. 9 and 5. The five passage over here, the 9 birth. It plays from this old over here. It becomes number 14. 9 and 5 is 14. 1 and 4 makes 5. That makes that passage over here. 14th letter is the N letter, because that's the passage I just described you just before. Like I was saying, you can put 3 sticks on your right in Roman numerals, but you can't put 3 sticks on your left. Is it the rook or the horse or the castle? Okay, the castle cannot be on waterworks. Okay, cannot be on waterworks. The castle cannot be on waterworks. Okay, it cannot. Waterworks, it's white in the Monopoly board, which means the water is pure from Snow White, and the slipper from the glass slipper in the North Pole, and the glaciers that clean and clean all the spirit, all the bad spirit. That's why you see the ice dry out, because when the spirit is dead, there's no more water in it. Spirit keeps life with water. When it dries out, it's no good, it's rotten. It was a Trojan horse that got into your memory bank. Part of our memory banks are frozen in the Arctics right now, being purified and melting every single day, supplying us back with whatever air we need to breathe and whatever information we need for that time for our life. There's more than one inlet. The Baltic and the Mediterranean and what I told you just before of these elements has something to do with communication. I don't know if it's a fake thing. I know it's real in one way, but I don't know if it was coming into the world or if it's going to be going out of the world. That's the thing. Which obviously, if I had more information, I would know. So Roman numeral and the horse, the castle, it can't start, okay, on waterworks, because waterworks is 2 away from go to jail. Now, if you move 1 on the horse, you go to Marvin Gardens, but you can't move 2 because there's a brick wall. You got to make a right-hand turn, but you can start on Marvin Gardens and play the horse from there. But then if he makes 1, he ends up in jail because he can't make it around the corner again. The horse cannot start around go to jail, either of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 places you can't put the horse. Let's move somewhere else. In the other place, he's visiting jail. The other one, it's go. The other one, Tennessee, New York, and Kentucky. You want to hear the initials? PFK in French. Kentucky Fried Chicken, Poulet Frit, Kentucky. The 1 spirit of 6 is coming in on a horse. This is about the game of chess now. Then there is the Where did I write this down? Ah, yes. Star Wars said the return of the Sith and the Spawn. And the pawn has 8 pieces. The heaven. 16 pieces for each team. 1 spear to 6. Total is number 7. There's 2 rooks each. One on one side, one on the other. I don't know what their position actually is. But I think the rook is the castle. And the castle can either go that way or that way. Now, if that's true, that means he can take the train from Reading Railroad and cross all the way to B&O. But I think there's a check in it, like a little hat. You know that, oh my God, center, honeycomb, creates, bypass, train, across, 1 you pass. So what happens is the cap of Jack that you see, okay, and it has the 3 things in it, okay, it's because it can go around 3 corners, but the other corner it cannot, because you go to jail. The maximum on 1 dice is 21. That if you threw them in Monopoly, it would take you to New York and Kentucky. You go the other way, you end up with the Mediterranean and boardwalk. Walk. WBC Alchemy Creation. The creation before the board was the walk of life. The board, the wood, the plywood, the pliable wood, the Torahs were built on the 10 commandments of the surface. Somehow, when God said he sent his letters or Latter-day Saints over towards the earth, I somehow can picture how they're burnt out into the sky, and in between those letters he was able to throw other letters. Like the sea, he threw down the sea. Right? So he throws down the sea. What do we do next when you get the sea? Well, you put 2 seas together, you got an O. So he didn't throw the sea down at all, unless he threw the seas down. The seas from the heavens, the pyramids, the frozen ice from space, already coming down with installation. Earth is a motherboard, and she's plugged in with pyramids completely around her. Up and down into the Rocky Mountains, God had a pyramid for every place, and he left the best pyramids for last, the Oriental. The Mediterranean, and the one where the head fits between the 2 bullhorns at this distance, the return of everything through 1 area. Only 1 area can do this. If you go down center, you're at the South Pole, but if you go up north, you're at the North Pole, and send all your letters to Santa Claus, because he doesn't need to receive the letters that are sent in the mail. He needs to receive the letters you sent. By not having paper, or having any pen, not having a voice, but only a brain to think, your thought is what has been sent. You need not more than that. So if you think your letters are not getting there, once your heart has sent the note has been received. We have 2 nights. And then before us, on the first day of Rosh Hashanah, we do have 2 nights. But I'm not going to go into the whole thing now. We have a total of 10, 12, 14 chess pieces, plus 2 bishops. Is it a bishop or a camel? So is that 18? 18 and 18 is 36. Creation of man. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, connect me, ti, ti, e, ti, e, ti, 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 ti. Do, division, Doe of Omega, open the waters. Ray is the king, the sun is the sunshine. Ray, divide me, Ray. Angel of division, the one who has the Y right here, where it splits over here, and his knowledge, it's coming in through his nose. So whatever he hauls in marijuana, that goes through his nose, that divides through his head, that makes him the horn, that connects the two sides of the information. If he's good to his heart, it will come back through his nose the same way from the heart is the center of where he is. But he speaks a little from one side, because if everything was centered, there would be nothing centered at all. We'd fall over. When I look at the bishop, do you know what I think of? Grover and Rover. From Sesame Street. See, same street. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 6. 41, first time around, from point 0, you get the Mediterranean. But if you hit the 14th from go, you're actually just one more space over to, I can't tell you, but I'm going to look. I'm going to look right now. Don't go away. So if you hit that 14 going the other way, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, you'd be on Virginia. Hallelujah. We're on Virginia. Oh, Virginia. Well, you got to sing the songs now. You know the song, you know Virginia. You sing another song about Virginia. You see the difference between the two Virginias. And if one's a virgin and she's with you, she's got the angel between her. She ain't no Virginia no more. Number 14 is the past. That's why she's Virginia forever. They put it in her, they take it out, but it has nothing to do with her at all. She's only an opening, just the hole from one end to the other, just for the spirit matrix to connect, just so nothing gets tied up. So she lets everybody go through her, because she's a good Virginia. But if I say her too often in Spanish, they think I'd be saying a B for a B, and she'd be a baby, and a B baby cup she has. Look at those baby cups. Cups, creation. Angel residence, CUP. CUP computer board. Oh boy, some kind of CUP computer board we now have in us. Every consonant is connected to a vowel. When you say, oh, how much do you owe? Is it the letter O or the water that is running and you are French? Monsieur, Beauty and the Beast. The actual truth and signs they were sending inside the show that Walt Disney put out. What a beautiful show. It was Beauty, B, and it was the Beast, B. One end of the B, she sucks, and the other one, she fucks and she hurts everybody in her way, but she restores things to life. She brings honey to money, and everybody's flying high and doing fine. Because when you got the golden honey of life, just sticky enough to be in your mind, not too slimy. What else can I talk of now? The 4 horns, the 8 horns, this side and this side. I look at Jupiter and I say, hey, Jupiter, you got 3 hooked up to me, you got 3 hooked up to her. That's 6. Where's the other 2? Oh, I don't know. I think I count at least for 1. Well, they must have doubled me up. Right out of one end, down the other end. They're connecting 2 more. Don't count yourself out. You are the reason for the days of the year. You have a birthday because it is your fault. Man is the reason for 365.25 days. And he is also the reason that we decide not to count the 0.25 days, okay, for 3 years and count it all at the end, because it makes it a lot more easier to find the truth between the lines. Boy, the lions are roaring. R-O-O-R, gold, the angel resident. The roar. The oar of the boat, the bore of the hole, the bore of the pig that connected the 3. The pig, Jupiter. But you know what I'm starting to think? I have this funny thing, is because we got 2 dice, and I keep saying we're on Saturn. I need an in-between planet. But the pig, would be the 2 pigs would be Jupiter and Saturn, because they're taking up all the space. One connects 3 and 1, and the other one connects 3 and 1. The one that's connected to here, that's different from that one and there, has to be connected to there, the opposition of which one, this one comes to here and connects the opposite to there. You have to power up, negative, positive, you have to ground things. Whatever they ground up, you ground up a little beef, you put it in, you got to mix it up or it sticks back together again. So they packed the earth the way it is, they dropped the pyramids on, and then God called to Noah, everybody's a sick egg out here, or a six egg. So since they're a six egg, what are we going to do next? Or were they five alive back then and knowing everything that was going through the Bible and actually speaking to God? So God made it rain and he split the whole land up. The pyramids dropped from the skies in different places all over the world with mechanics inside of them. Then with time, as Noah was in the boat, 2 by 2, 2 by 2 and 1, 2 by 2 and 1 and 1, man, God is leading his one sheep, man is leading all the sheep to safety, 2 by 2 and 1, 1 for 1. By the time it stopped raining, the Baltic Ocean seas were created. The Mediterranean and Nile was created, but it left unrest because those pyramids were still sticking out of the sand. The pyramids were still underneath the ocean, but still there was not enough water. How do you know what goes on at what time in the world if you've never been to the other side of the world 5,000 years ago? Over time, the sands swirled, the pyramids broke down, created deep, deep, deep sands. It's the sands of time, burying the motherboard beneath the planet in different areas of the world. The only way to get them, everybody knows, the crystal skulls, because they arise within the underground. And the way the underground works, we are part of the earth, and our evil thoughts and goodness come out in the scorpions. Those who can stand the heat, they call the snake part of the devil. Those scorpions are part of the devil, but it's not them. It's you and it's us. We have created all these animals on earth by the way man acts. But they were put to earth at the same time we just about came to earth. So if we can follow the reminder of the names they were given over time. We are the scaramouche. We are in the kitchen. I decide to pour myself a bath. And I fill it up to the top because the water goes to the top. So I get into the bath from before the toilet seat, and all of a sudden it starts to feel warm. And it feels so good, but I forgot to tell you the problem. When I get in the bath, I went in the bath, and the water, she left. I said, hey, water, what are you doing there? I said, you're leaving so soon, I just got in the bath. And the water responds, I am Omega the passage. You come in through me, and you leave through me. We are not but dust of dust. We are the humidity and the mist of all the knowledge we missed in life. It is the particle of the water, constantly inside the passage, cooling down like a radiator, in the oceans of life, in our oceans. The oceans cool everything down from the evil thoughts of man, and when evil thoughts compile themselves over and over, the ocean starts to boil. And like I said, the Mediterranean and the Baltic are at each end. War is starting in Israel. The Baltic has been hit by a storm, and not a small storm this time. And it's going to only get worse next time. But does that mean it's going to be under the ocean and only by the seas? Or will it be by the drones who fly over, who have no pity on anything of life other than to own the set of pyramids? The last set of pyramids to arise are in the Middle East, and they are looking to conquer not only the oil, not the money or the power, but the pyramid power that wins the game and game over. And at that point, when game is over, my friends, the game has only begun. That is the calling of the conscience world. The old game is over. Two new hockey teams are coming in, 6 men and 6 men, each one with a side to sit on for their own bench. Most of the men are benched most of the game, yet they come out for a minute or two to give it their best stuff. So they get onto the ice and they get 2 penalties. Now there are 3 players on the ice with 1 goalie is 4. So you have the creator in the middle. He can make the pass. At least you got 1 at the other end. You got 4 you can create for yourself a square. So now you can build your own world, get the man out of your box and your best stuff at 5 and 5. That's what they call it, but it's actually 6 and 6. But there's 1 man in the hole between the pipes, keeping everything clean. Like Ken Dryden, keeping everything out and creating goose eggs. Number 92, well, that's the birth of 9 of this 2 world. The man is 6 and his birth is 9, but it's still the 2 world of 6, of course. 2, 2, and 2. 2 down, 2 up, and if you want, 2 across. But then that would be a 4, because that's a hole, because you went all the way. You didn't break an L. You didn't break a wing. You didn't make a right-hand turn. Because the tracks go this way and this way. The tracks don't go straight across unless you buy a ticket to go straight across. And the reason for that is if you go this way and this way, you're already 5 from your left-hand corner you can walk. If you go this way and this way, you're 5 from this one and 5 from this left-hand corner. But if you go straight across, okay, if you go straight, I was talking 5, I meant 10, but if you go straight across, you're 10 to this one, and 10 to that one, but straight across from the other one, so you become the in-between because he was the in-between on the other side. So now you're the in-between. So you're dysfunctioning the operation of 2, and you're going down to you and 1 and 1. Instead of you and your opposition as 1, 2 and 2. Delta corner. Let's leave it at this. Raphael 7286. If you want to know anything about anything, you want to know a little bit about the planets, Mercury is red. Venus, or V, Sun, Venus, your ass in the sun. Mars is Ram, it's number 4. Earth is 3, TH heaven, time heaven. Saturn, spirit heaven. Jupiter, home of 10. Must be getting up the bat to play, right? So I can keep on going. I'm really tired. Pluto means a little bit early, get your card for the game. Pluto, it's going to rain sooner or later. It's going to rain sooner or later. Pluto, it's going to rain sooner or later. Pluto, okay, or plu means it's raining. A toe can be easier, or it can mean a tax. You're going to be taxed. Does that mean you're going to get your period and the sentence will end? Or is it just a tax because you're coming into the new world? So wherever I was, I will spawn of a pawn of a spawn of a son who I am. Pluto, finishing with T-O. Do you know what T-O is? The last planet. T is the 20th letter. O is the 15th. 2015. Now, if Jesus, and you're reading the stars and everything is off by 3 years, Jesus is born 3 BC. That does not say plus or minus. It just says 3 BC, which in our vision is a -3. Since we think he died at 33, that would make it 36. That means this wouldn't be 2012 according to the Jewish calendar. This would be 2015. 2015. T-O, overtime, timeout. 2015, 20, T-O, or 2-O, which is I am the egg. 1-5 is the egg. 1 and 5 is A and E. Now A and E, you have to understand, A is before E. You know the A can squeeze through the E, and you can put an A upside down on the E, and you can go through the passage. The I you can cross, and it can go through the passage. The U forms one side of the passage you can double up because you need 2 of you to get in. The total of the vowels is 31 and 20. 30 and 21. 51. Area 51. IS, write it squarely, 51. IT, it, 92. T, just like I said at the beginning, the letters that don't pass, ICSI. You can put a V, but you can put a V -1. You can put a V +3, but you can't put a V-3 because it doesn't work in Roman numerals. I'm very tired. Thank you very much. Raphael 7286. If you need to know anything, just ask. Please, I'm not getting anybody to like me. I'm not losing my confidence, but I'm running into a danger area. That when you have no confidence and no one likes you, you think everybody's going to be after you. I don't want to feel that way, so please make me not feel that way by leaving a comment, thumbs up, or a like. I really would appreciate it. Thank you.